Hey guys, this is Ola Clarkson and I'm your coach from now and forever on for as long as you're working on your goals and you need me there. And today is Monday. Happy Monday, first day of our plan and prep week for this challenge. So what do we do now? Where do we start? First of all, some of you are still waiting for your supplies and others already have everything ready to go. So depending on where you're at in that regard, you're going to have a little different things on your agenda. Whether you are ready to jump right in or you're going to wait till next week. If you are ready to jump all in this week already, I assume that you have already looked at your startup guide. This is my program that I will be doing. You might be doing this one or a different one, but they're all very similar. And I assume that you have read through the entire eating plan guide. It is pretty small, but it contains all the information and answers all of your questions. Don't be surprised if it takes you a long time to figure it out on your own, but this week we will be covering all of these things in here. So number one thing I want you to do is go to your workout schedule, and I want you to print this thing out and have it on your wall. There's a printable version on your Beachbody On Demand purchase programs, and you go to the right side of the program and there will be all sorts of documents. So find your workout schedule, and for best results I want you guys to follow this to the T, because this is how the trainer has laid it out, and this will give you the best results. Okay, number two, what I want you to do is get out this little booklet that says eating plan, meal plan, nutrition plan, something along those lines, and calculate your meal plan. Calculate how many containers you are going to be eating in a day. So let me walk you through this real quick. Let's assume my starting weight is 113 pounds, and obviously I am not looking to lose weight, I am looking to maintain. So this is what I'll be doing here. I am timing it by 12 as the guide says, and I end up with 1356 calories. That is my caloric baseline. So what are my needs? I gotta add 450 to that. The formula is very simple. It's a little bit different in different programs, but I promise you, you will figure it out. And I end up with 1800 calories for my caloric needs. So if I was looking to gain weight or to maintain weight, this is what I would be focusing on. Now, if you are on a weight loss plan, this is what you'll be doing. You will be calculating your deficit. So in this particular plan, you minus 750, so I ended up with 1056 calories. Obviously, anything in that is less than 1200, we are rounded up to 1200. So I end up with plan A, which is 3 green containers, and I know I need 2 purple, which are my fruit, and 4 reds, which are my proteins, and so forth. If you guys already have your containers with you, that is great. I want you to play around. First of all, label them all so you remember which one belongs to what. And the next thing I want you to do for this whole challenge is to actually use your containers to measure things. You have to be able to fill the whole container and put the lid on it. So don't trust your eyeballs that much yet. Eventually you will be able to just look at your portions, especially if you're out and about and you're traveling, or you're in a restaurant, or you're at a potluck where you don't really feel like bringing your containers and measuring things. You will be able to do that. Okay, next thing I want you to have ready and on hand is your foods list. Now, there is a printable version on the Beachbody On Demand as well in your purchase program, so go right in there and print it out for you and have it ready to go on your fridge. This is what you'll be using for your meal prep. This is what you'll be using for your shopping list. Cool thing about this is that the highest nutritional value items are on the top of the list. So if you want the best results and if you want to be feeling the best, number one, don't skip your Shakeology. Number two, stick to the tops of the list. So let's say vegetables, more fiber, more vitamins, more minerals, more nutrients, goes on the top of the list. So, and if you notice, let's go to our yellow containers. All right, so if you see that our tortillas and our breads and our bagels and pastas are on the bottom of the list. So you will not have as great of results if you are continuously eating off of the bottom of the list. Those are not exactly the whole foods and not what you want to be sticking with continuously, specifically. So do that for the rest of your list, and while you're at it, just be looking at what exactly do you want to eat. And in this particular program, Autumn actually has noted which ones she specifically eats and which ones she's staying away. So let's go, for instance, do the blue container. Avocado is number one, so we wanting to be stick with it. Same with nuts, etc. Now Autumn tries to stay away from dairy, so she marked those with crosses, but if you do eat dairy, that is not a problem for you. All right, then of course you get your teaspoons. Let's not forget about the teaspoons. Those are your oils, nut butters, etc. So of course a teaspoon is not going to come with your containers, so use the one use the one that you have at home. Those will be your teaspoons that you will be using. There's a water bar, and another thing, make sure you look through I know that you like to maybe add milk to your Shakeology or to your coffees and teas, etc. You can still do that, but see that they actually count as a yellow container, and it's marked how many ounces of what kind of milk depending on the kind. So make sure you do look at that. Next section here will be our recipes, and there's recipes for breakfast and for lunch and for dinner and for snacks and even for desserts and drinks and Shakeology. So, and I swear I have tried almost every single one of them, because especially in the beginning, I did not know what to eat. And we will talk about it specifically, about how to go about your meal plan, meal prep and shopping. So here is a great way to start. Now, if you are doing other programs, for instance, or if you need this, if you specifically do not have any idea of where to start with your eating at all, this is coming from the hammer and chisel that I've done in the past. There are sample menus. So this is a great way to go if you don't know where to start with your eating at all. So here, the great thing is actually that you have an omnivore menu, and then you have a vegetarian one, and then you have your grain-free or paleo, and so forth. So that is something that you can count on if you want a lot of help with what to do. Another thing you can go to is your Beachbody On Demand Fixate cooking show. Autumn shares with you a couple of different ways of meal prep. So I highly encourage you to watch that, especially if you are already starting your programs this week and you don't have time to wait for me to specifically tell you about the meal prep and shopping. So if you need any of these and you don't know where to find them, and you have tried, message me and I will upload them for you. Let's see. Next thing you want to do is print out your tally sheets. Your tally sheets are located at the very back of this, and this is what they look like. So this is where you'll be marking how many containers you have already eaten, so that you know what you still have left. And it takes a little bit of planning. So if you know you are going to want to have, let's say, a chicken breast and pasta for dinner, so you will be saving a yellow container and you will be saving a red container for that. So it takes a little bit of planning, but it's all right. Again, there's a printable version on your Beachbody On Demand in the purchase programs. If you don't want to use pen and paper like me, there are phone apps for it. Some are free, some are a couple dollars, depending. So feel free to go in there and print out whatever, oh, not print out, but download whatever you guys need. Go in your Play Store, etc. Okay, after you've done all that, try a workout. go on your Beachbody On Demand if you are still waiting for your supplies, because the first month is a trial month of Beachbody Club, so feel free to go in there and try either your workout programs. Maybe you will realize that you need a little bit higher weights. Maybe you realize that your elastic band is not the right, what is the word that I'm looking for? Tell me. Is not the right resistance. So that will give you a pretty good idea about what you need to move around and what exactly you need to do. Maybe you realize you need a little more space or less space or a different floor surface. So maybe you want to move your workouts to a different room, etc. And next thing, schedule your workout in your day. I want you guys specifically to tell me when you're going to do your workouts. Now, if this week is your starting week already, if you don't want to wait for us for next Monday, keep in mind that either way, your first week to maybe even the whole challenge in a lot of cases will be trial and error. That's how it was for me when I started back in the day with P90X. I found myself that I couldn't exactly follow the schedule for the workouts. I found myself not even looking at the meal plan. Well, I don't blame myself for it because it was actually pretty complicated back then. So you might be trying out things and realizing that you need something different. Maybe you need to move your workout to earlier in the day, or maybe you will realize that you are not a morning person and you want to do your workouts towards the end of the day. That is all fine. So here is the call to action. Comment below this video and tell me if you guys have done all of these things, and any questions that you might have, let me know and I will answer them in the next video, or if they are private, specifically in a message. Alright guys, here is the agenda for today. If you've done all that, let me know, and I will see you tomorrow.